I'm going to tell you all the story of a young man's experience in the youth justice system. But first, you guys need to better understand the law in place for the young offenders in Canada. The law, as of 2003, in place is the Youth Criminal Justice Act, also known as the YCGA. This act replaced the Young Offenders Act of 1984, which replaced the Juvenile Delinquents Act of 1908. These laws are different than the Criminal Code of Canada because that one is for adults, and the government believes that youth should be treated differently than adults. The YCGA applies to all youth aged 12 to 17. Some highlights of this act include that it doesn't allow adult sentences for youth under the age of 14. There's less emphasis on custody for smaller offenses. There is an end to all transfers to adult court. It protects the privacy of young offenders, and it allows most youth to avoid a criminal record. There are four main objectives of the YCGA: to prevent future crime, to rehabilitate and reintegrate youth, to ensure that youth get meaningful consequences, and to keep the youth justice system separate from the adults. The justice system also encourages involvement from the community in the form of juries, justice advocacy groups, and youth justice committees. We'll learn more about juries and youth justice committees later in the video, but for justice advocacy groups, they are organizations that work independently of the government. They try to solve the underlying reasons for crime. They provide public education about the laws and the justice system, and they work with youths and adults who have broken the law to help them return to their communities. There are two major citizen-led justice advocacy groups. There's the Elizabeth Fry Society, and they focus on issues with women and girls, while the John Howard Society works with people of all genders. And with that, here's the story of a young guy caught in the justice system.
Just a few days ago, I stole this girl's phone. It's a really nice phone, and I just really wanted it. And then somebody snaked on me.
Wait, my phone!
Stop right there. I'm a police officer and you're under arrest.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do will be used against you in court. We are taking you to the station. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to speak to a lawyer, parent, or guardian. You have the right to have your parents with you during questioning. You have the right to be represented by a lawyer if you are going to court. We have a court date for you, June 12th at 11 a.m. If you are not present for this court date, a more serious sentence will be given to you.
Logan got charged by the police for theft under $5,000.
Okay, so because your crime is not that serious, you will not be tried by a judge and jury. There will only be a judge.
It's a jury.
A jury is a group of 12 Canadian citizens over the age of 18 that will help to determine whether the defendant is guilty or not guilty. Their decision must be unanimous.
Wait, so how serious is my sentence going to be?
Well, there's four factors that usually determine the severity of a sentence. They are the seriousness of the offense, your history of crime, your attitude and responsibility, the circumstances surrounding you. Your crime isn't really that serious, and you're a first-time offender, so that puts you at a good start for an easier sentence. You also don't really have any bad circumstances around you, but as long as you take responsibility for your actions, you may be able to just go to a youth justice committee.
Logan took responsibility for his actions and therefore only received a referral to go to a youth justice committee. But what is a youth justice committee, you may ask? It is a way a youth can receive a sentence. It is ran by volunteers and comes from the traditions of some Aboriginal peoples. The committees believe that breaking a law harms everyone in a community and that the community must become involved in solutions. Elders play an important role in these committees because they are respected members of their communities. So, Logan, why did you commit this crime?
Well, I thought I really wanted this phone, but now that I have it, I realized that it wasn't worth it.
Well, I'm glad you're taking responsibility for your actions. I'm still going to need you to I'm going to have to come up with a contract for you to sign stating what you need to do as a consequence for breaking the law. You're going to need to complete 16 hours of community service, as well as we are going to arrange a meeting with you and the young woman you stole from, so you can apologize for stealing her phone. You can also give it back.
I feel like the justice system treated me very fair and very equitable, and that the consequences were meaningful.